What is up, guys? NYKia31 here, bringing you a Madden 15 video, and I'm finally going to start talking some 3-4 defense. I'm playing 3-4 in one of the leagues that I'm in. Friday is a spice of life, after all. I may play 3-4 a little bit more, just to, again, change things up some from my tried and true, 4-3 Tampa 2 styles and 4-3 underfront. Seattle Seahawks styles of play, and it took me a while to settle on what playbook I liked. I don't really like any of the 3-4 playbooks, to be honest with you, but I don't really like the 3-4 in the game very much either. I'll get into this later on. So I picked one that I liked, or disliked the least, I should say, and went with that, and that was the Baltimore Ravens playbook. Niners playbook finished a close second, along with the Steelers, who finished a strong third. And basically my idea was to cook up a Nick Saban style Liz Rip style of 3-4. Liz Rip meaning, what side of the formation your in the box, curl flat, or hook zone safety is. And my idea is to have alignments and play calls and audibles set up so that you're never really outflanked. You can match numbers versus the run to either side, right or left. You can zone blitz to the left and have even numbers to the right, zone blitz to the right, have even numbers to the left, so you're never really outflanked either way, and you can account for the receiving threats in the field and on the blockers on the field, depending on what you want to defend. And of course, personnel matters, dictates, and all that good stuff as far as what I'm calling when and versus who. Ideally, I'm basing in cover 3 blitzes and cover 1, and your occasional cover 1 blitz, and every once in a while you got to throw a cover 0 blitz in there and take a chance. And of course I mix in cover 4, cover 6, and cover 2, cover 3, double buzz. But most of the time in this style of 3-4 that I'm playing, I'm going to be in some type of 3 deep. Cover 3 press, cover 3 buzz, cover 3 sky, cover 3 cloud, cover 6 double buzz, things of that nature. So that's that. I will go into the roster setup and all that good stuff a little bit later on, and as well as the audibles. Let's get back to what I said earlier and why I hate the 3-4 in this game. Really, I don't really like it. A couple of things. One, I don't like how it's aligned. I think the outside backers are just a smidge too close, which makes holding the edge against the runs du jour this year a bit of a challenge. But that's a nitpicky thing. But the big reason why I don't like the 3-4 in the game is that there's really no such thing as a 2-gap player. Ideally, you want, well, in the real world, first and foremost, and everything else is gravy, you want your nose to be able to occupy both sides of the A gap to prevent your inside backers from having a mass of humanity fall right back into their laps. You want your defensive end to be able to man that B gap. Your defensive end, or outside linebackers rather, need to be hybrid players, half defensive end, half outside backer. Need to man that C gap here. They have to man, generally speaking, you can play a 1-gap 3-4 and you can play a 2-gap 3-4, but generally speaking, both sides of the A gap, both sides of the B gap, to shield these bad boys from having guys that weigh 350 pounds running right at them at a head of steam. But what happens is there's not really such a thing as a 2-gap player. when you run into plays like counters, powers, 0-1 traps, what happens is that this player is just going to shoot right upfield, and this guy is going to just stand there and wait for a blocker to engage him. And, well, one of these two guys will. And the other guy is going to take his little, hook zone read step before getting started. Now, in the real world, you can do things like, slant your line, or, call a line stunt to have your nose try to cross the face of the center here and try to blow up the pulling, trapping guard. Or you can have one of your inside backers act as a sacrificial lamb, take on the trapper, the trap blocker, and your other linebacker, scrape and fill. Let's say that a trap is being run to the right, as soon as he reads trap, if this guy isn't trying to cross the face, you can, what normally happen is this dude will be the sacrificial lamb, try to beat the trap blocker to the spot, and the backside backer will, try to fill. That's usually the way it works. Again, I'm talking in very general, purposes. There's different ways to skin the cat in a 3-4, but that's the basic idea of it. There's a million things you can do. You can gap stunt in the real world, and you can, scrape exchange, and all that good stuff, which doesn't really exist in this game. There are, ways that you can bootleg it manually, but really, the way the game is designed, it pretty much forces you to send 5 and 6 guys more times than you want to. When, that really doesn't need to be the case. You don't have to be a blitz-heavy team to play a 3-4. You can play like the Ravens or the Niners do. If you have a strong front, you don't have to blitz that much. If you have Suggs and Doomerville, Nada, and big old Mount Cody or whoever, if you are the Niners and you have Tank Carradine, Justin Smith, Navarro Bowman, Ahmad Brooks, Aldon Smith, you don't gotta blitz that much. As a matter of fact, I'm fairly certain that the Ravens and the Niners were among the least blitz-heavy teams in the entire. The Niners were 26th as far as blitz percentage goes in the NFL. The Patriots were 29th. The Ravens were 21st. Now, of course, you have teams like the Cardinals that love to blitz. They have man coverage corners that can, afford them the luxury of doing that. And you have the zone blitz gurus, the Dom Capers and the Dick LeBeaus, who are consistently in the top 10 in blitz percentage. And, of course, you have good old Rex Ryan. The Jets checked in at number 9 as far as blitz percentage goes. Pittsburgh was number 5. The Packers were number 7. The Cardinals were actually second in the league. The St. Louis Rams blitzed the most out of anybody in the NFL. They blitzed 45% of the time. So that's my little spiel on, why I'm not really in love with the 3-4 as far as video game purposes. No such thing really as a true 2-gap player. There's barely such a thing as a 1-gap player. There's not really true quote-unquote run fits gap assignments. Guys, if you're playing zone coverage, they'll initially take a step or two towards their assignment, then their play rec and pursuit kicks in. The higher the play rec rating kicks in, the quicker they say, hey, I should not be dropping into my hook zone, I should be, playing the run. Man coverage, they're a little bit quicker. But that's what you have to deal with. So, really, as far as user control goes, I don't know, it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes in the mood to, play on the defensive line, sometimes a linebacker, sometimes I get crazy and want to control a deep safety, but, keep that in mind as a user control player. If you're user controlling a defensive lineman, you're going to have to want to do your block shedding and slanting manually, to account for the runs that people like to do. Like if you're controlling, what am I doing? This is just base aligned. Like if you're controlling a linebacker in a read trap, you gotta, get there and beat the, pulling line into the hole because the back is going to get there with a head of steam, and you know you're going to be in for a world of hurt. I mean, you can pinch your line, pinch your backers. I'm still getting 6-7 yards on the 0-1 trap. So, you know, you got to mitigate that as best you can with user control and either linebacker or block shedding. Alrighty, Ravens, Playbook, and Audibles. Gonna start with a 3-4 bear. The reason why I settled on this one was a couple of formations. One, this 3-4 stack. Two, 3, 6 will. It's very similar to the 2, 3, 6. The only difference is that instead of a strong safety, you have a your weak side backer in there, hence the name. And this nickel 3-3-5. Let's start with the 3-4 bear. And we'll go from bottom to top. Sam Mike 1 is, you know, let the dice roll. You only live once, play call. Cover 2 in, that's good for the red zone. And, you know, short yardage, you know, red zone and in balanced passing sets, 2x2s, you know, stuff like 2 receivers and a tight end, stretching it with 3 receivers and a tight end. But for short yardage, you know, red zone and under, you know, you can't get into too much trouble with that. Buck Sam 3 is what I like to call run strength to the right, pass strength to the left. The thing about playing run defense in zones is that, one, you gotta pay attention to where your players are flowing based on the play art, and from there, it's all about play rec and your personnel's block shedding and all that good stuff. So, in Buck Sam 3, for example, it's a 5-man rush. You have 2 defenders, and you're going to be using, well, you know, if you're using either the safety or the linebacker, you want to take a look out for the tight end or the slot. Make sure that you account for him. Force someone to go somewhere else. And you'll still have some pretty good protection against the run to the left as well. And not as much to the right because you have the 2 rushing backers and the guys flowing to the right, but you have a guy to the left as well. And again, if you use your controlling the linebacker to your left, you can, you know, make a beeline over there and cut it off just fine. Cover 3, run strength left, pass strength right. You have the linebacker dropping straight into the seam. You have the user safety, or, you know, if you're using the safety on that, you don't have to use the safety, but if you're using the safety there, you want to, you know, keep a lookout for any crossers, slants, and all that good stuff. And you have a linebacker rushing in to the left, and a linebacker going to the curl flat area to the left, so that's very nice against off-tackle runs. Inside runs, you know, Sam Mike 3, you can also go with this pinch dog. Mike pinch 0, pinch buck 0, will safety blitz. You know, I would come out maybe and cover 1 hole or cover 3 or buck Sam 3, then go from there. That's really the idea. Same thing with the 3-4 even. I have the Mike scrape 3 press as my run stopper to the right, pass strength left, or blitz right, pass strength left. You can also go crossfire 3. Like you can come out in a cover 6. Here's the off tackle run to the left, you should be okay. Same thing with cover 3 sky, cover 3 cloud. even OLB strike 2 if it's a 2x2. Like if I see a formation of, you know, 2 tight ends, receiver, single back, I'll come out in OLB strike 2 or crossfire. You know, we'll fire 3, run left, pass right, cover 3 sky, pass strength to the right. You have the linebacker dropping into the hook, as well as a deep safety to that side. 3 buzz show 2, same thing to the left. You know, you have the robber safety for anything going down the seam or a quick slant. And you can also you can go cover 3 cloud for the left as well. Even cover 2 if you wish. Or even cover 4. But that's what I have it, and that's how it works, or it's been working. 3-4 normal. Run strength right, Sam Mike 3. Run strength left, I like the crossfire. You could also go, you know, cover 2 for your off tackle, run left, or free safety zone blitz. And with this, you can play some games with this free safety. You can have him dropping into a flat, a hook, you can man him, spy him, what have you. You can also go weak buck 3 press, just make sure your corners match up, or even cover 3 buzz. Cover 2 sync QB contains a really nice one. For the right as well, as far as right pass strength is concerned. 4 drop QB contain is good as well. 3 drop QB contain is excellent against screeners. Really nice. You see those flat defenders going weirdly out wide. Cover 3 sky, I like the call for pass strength right because of the curl flat defender, the linebacker, and the hook zone linebacker to your right. Cover 3 sky. Sky weakens, cover 3 sky normal. And again, just based on your personal preference, you can go cover 2 sink for the left since the linebackers are slanting that way. Or cover 3 cloud for the right, either or. And just mix and match it. I mean, if you're happy with what you come out in, that's fine. And I'll occasionally throw, you know, some robber, cover 1 robber. Typically, I'm in the zone defense on 1st and 2nd down 99 times out of 100. You know, and I'll be that way until the game allows an inline tight end to be bumped off the line of scrimmage. But as long as an inline tight end has a free release and man coverage, I ain't playing man coverage on 1st and 2nd down and, you know, opening myself up to a world of hurt. 3rd down, I would say my man zone or my zone man percentage is maybe 60-40. I'll play cover 1, I'll play 2 man under, I'll bring zone blitzes. 3-4 predator basically creates a 4-3. Your outside linebacker to your left will have his hand on the ground, hand in the dirt, basically playing defensive end. So you want to make sure you have your best pass rusher out of your linebackers formation subbed as that not defensive end, but outside linebacker on that side if he's not already there by default. Strikes strong snake 3. Good rush hopper to the right, pass defense to the left. Will fire seam, run left, pass right. Cover 2 sink is nice in this set for the right seam and right over the middle. And cover 3 sky for left pass strength. And you can even go cover 3 cloud and, you know, hot route that hard flat defender in pass situations where you know they're going to be throwing into a purple or a hook zone. Or you can call cover 6. Again, these are just audibles, but you can come out and, if you like what you come out in, stay in it. Cover 4, show 2 I like a lot. Again, this OOB strike 2 I like a lot. I'll call strong safety scrape 3 for run defense as well. Cover 2, a hard cover 2. Off tackle runs, very nice. Cover 1 QB contain is nice. Very rarely call this. I don't think I've called this once all year. And I like this corner blitz 3 because it's going to look like a standard cover 3 buzz show 2. So if you're calling cover 3 buzz show 2 a lot, you know, sneak this bad boy in. Pre-snap, it's going to look a lot like this. It's going to look identical to this, really. Three, 4 stack. Again, another formation that gives you a 4-3. Sand Crash 3 is my right run stopper, or right run defense, I should say. You can go Strong Snake 3. But I like to vary them up. I don't want them all to look the same as far as audibles go. This, I think, is actually slightly better if you guess wrong and they're throwing. Now, this one puts a lot of stress on your strong safety. This one, you have a little bit more help with guys with the with the outside backers going to the left, and the outside backer to your left is lined up as a defensive end. So again, make sure if he's not already there, you formation sub your best pass rusher into that spot. Cover 3 Sky is a good off tackle run stopper to the left. If you use the interior defensive lineman or the middle linebacker, you can, you know, do some run plugging inside as well. Cover 3 Cloud. Pass strength right. Cover 6. Pass strength left. 2, 3, 6. This one was kind of difficult for me. Plant Zone 2 I like for off-tackle runs out of, you know, shotgun formations for counters, for base, HB base, or HB power, whatever you want to call it, HB sweeps. A little bit vulnerable to the inside zone and whatnot in the 0-1 trap, but you have, you know, free safety middle 3 for the 0-1 trap and inside zone play. Or you can call, here you go. Or you can call strong safety overload 3, or under smoke 2 will do a nice job of plugging up the inside zone and shotgun 0-1 trap. So if it's like, say, 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3, you're playing a run heavy guy, this will certainly do the trick. Cover 2 Sink for pass formations heavy right. And left here, cover 6, show 2. And of course you can always flip the play as well. You don't want to tip your hand and always audible to these things when you're, you know, based off left, right, and whatnot, because your opponent will catch on to that. So, you know, you can flip the play if you want, just to kind of, you know, keep the look the same. 3-6 Will. Mike Edge 3 Seam. And Fire Buzz show 2 for my, you know, run plays that also give me some pretty good pass defense. I like this one for over the middle as well, because you have that safety dropping hard over the middle. And this one for, you know, pass strength to the left. Like for trips left, for example, and against a guy that runs counter, that'll do a nice job. And also you can, you know, do a pretty good job of slowing down the inside run play by either shooting the gap, that blitzing linebacker, just kind of read the flow of the run play, or with the strong safety, or with the inside backer, or with the defensive tackles using and block shedding. You'll have support at least. Cover 6 show 4. Good seam protection. And cover 3 Sky show 2 for, you know, heavy pass strength right pass sets. And I'll call Mike Edge 1 as well occasionally. call cover 1 robber press as well. Cover 3 cloud show 2 is another nice one. Overload 3 seems another good one for 0-1 trap and inside zone. Mike edge show 2 is good as well. That's really good for the red zone. Flats are going to be covered nicely, and you're going to have a backer flying to the middle. And you also have a DB on the left for the seam. It's really important to pay attention to where guys are flowing to. Cover 4 drops a good one as well. Goal line, who cares? All the plays suck. The best out of the worst is pinch zone and gaps AB, in my opinion. Nickel 2-4-5. I like strong safety overload 3. A little bit dicey to call it on the field side to the right because that backer's just got a long way to go. It's a good boundary blitz, really. Seam show 2 is a little bit safer. Good one for inside, zone again. This one's good for 0-1 trap. And it still gives you good pass protection to the right. Cover 2 sink and cover 6. And you don't have to live by these. As you can do whatever the heck you want. This is just what's worked for me. You can even go crossfire 3 for the inside. Sugar cover 3 bluff is a good one. But make sure you call enough things like Sugar's 3 seam and 3 seam show 2. And again, under smoke 2 and as well for inside running out of the shotgun sets. Nickel 3-3-5. I like LB cross 3 for the run. You got a safety crashing to the robber as well as the curl flat area to come down for the counter as well as the linebacker blitzing. And you have a cross blitz as well for inside runs, and you'll be even okay for left off tackle shotgun runs or spread runs at a single back as well. Free overload press, same deal, but basically to the opposite side. Cover 4 drop and cover 6 drop. Mixing in, the cover 3 drop and the cover 2 sink. And the sky drop. Yeah, some pretty good stuff. Cover 1 QB contains a good one. You got a spy built in there. Rushing linebacker with the DEs containing. LB cross 1's a good changeup for these zone cross blitzes. Just be careful when you're calling man 1 and man 0. Just don't be reckless about it. Don't take a chance unless you have to take a chance. Take chances on your terms, really. Nickel LB blitz is just your YOLO run stopper. Like, I really won't get into cover 1 unless I'm up multiple possessions, or like I won't really get into cover 1 unless I'm, in a favorable down and distance situation, and or up multiple possessions. Because you're going to have a linebacker on a tight end usually. That's a tough proposition. Wide 9, Mike 3, show blitz, kind of a, borderline sellout run blitz. I like this cover 3 buzz play. Decent 4 off tackle running to the left. You can go Sam Will blitz as well. I like this cover 4 show 2. I have this as a comment to the cover 2 sink in the Audibles. And this Sam strong safety blitz is a good, boundary blitz. Again, you don't want to run it to the field side too much. It's just a lot of ground for those backers to cover. 2 deep blitz, cover 2 hard, good for off tackle, spread, single back spread and shotgun runs, kind of weak up the middle, but you can live with it. Good for quick throws to the curl flats, and you got okay middle protection. You're going to have to use or the middle linebacker more than likely against multiple receiving threats and just kind of jump where you think the guy's going to go first. Same thing to the left. If you're not good at using a linebacker and you're on the pass rushers or defensive line, you better get there or use this judiciously, like in red zone situations. A safer one, I guess, would be 3 sky, similar type of blitz, but in a cover 3 look. Overload seam, we've seen this before, good for inside zone and 0-1 trap. Decent for counters. Yeah, pretty good for counters. You have, the robber safety coming down as well as, dudes to the right as well. My old favorite double buzz. This is good for, 2x2 shotgun passing sets. The rubber defenders do a sensible job of carrying seam, especially if you're playing protect the sticks and over the top coverage. Cover 3 drop, cover 4 drop is in here. 2-man QB contain. Occasionally I'll blitz that spine linebacker for a little bit more pressure, or a little bit more of a rush. I like this cover 1 hole as well. Mix that in with cover 1 thief. Your YOLO blitzes here, your under smokes, which you're going to need from time to time. You're going to have to do some YOLO blitzing every now and then. DB strike 1's a little bit safer. Quarters 3 deep, nothing exotic there. Been there, done that, and this one only has, this one play. So that is the Audible setup there for the Ravens defensive playbook. I'll go into part 2, roster setup, and some live gameplay action. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Try it out, and I will talk to you all later. Peace.